After much reading and writing, interviewing key people of power and influence in our district, speaking with my principal, and completing a needs assessment for my site, it is now my pleasure to present a proposal to Principal of Vista Visions Academy, Dr. Erin English. VVA, moving forward in innovation, student learning, and positive school culture, growing from within. Our school motto as it is now: dream, imagine, create, make it happen. So 3 years ago, the two different staffs that make up now Vista Visions Academy were a K-8 homeschool and a 9-12 high school independent study, and we were sort of picked up and put together as one school, and we called ourselves Vista Visions Academy. Still 3 years later, much of our K-8 and 9-12 programs operate very separately, and now that we have settled in and we really have done some amazing things here in setting up Vista Visions Academy, and now that our purpose really is emerging, it is time to become one unified school and culture that is Vista Visions Academy. In our goal to have families stay with Vista Visions Academy from kindergarten through 12th grade, VVA's move to a shared K-12 vision, philosophy, and practice is the logical next step. Through these doors is an incredibly talented, creative, and caring staff of educational leaders who have everything we need to realize our own unique school culture. Our K-12 school vision and culture can grow from within. So what is on the horizon for VVA? School-wide, consistent, and shared lesson and course design and philosophy, K-12, along with a plan supported by the VUSD Blueprint for Educational Excellence and Innovation for a sustainable learning environment that focuses on utilizing technology to prepare students with skills needed for a connected and evolving world. And we'll be doing that in an online and blended fashion solely. So I've created some actionable goals, and I labeled them as phases 1 through 5 because these things will happen in phases and we'll have to be a bit patient. I prioritize them based on what I feel we need to start with and begin with, but I am also, having the realization that we will have to work on some of these things simultaneously. Before we get into the phases, I wanted to just look over the plan that is going to support all of this. So the local control funding formula for the state led to the development that every school district has to create, which is the LCAP, the Local Control Accountability Plan. And our district calls it, Vista Unified School District calls it our Blueprint for Educational Excellence and Innovation. In this blueprint plan, as evidenced here in this great infographic, is our House of Learning. And that House of Learning is made up of 8 priorities, which are set by the state, and which our district and we call strategies 1 through 8. And we add that together with VUSD's core values of trust and respect. We're going to be using these ideas over here, the beliefs we have, the parameters for how to do it, collaboration, and the goals that we have will set the foundation for this House of Learning. We add all that together and we come up with VUSD's mission to become the model of excellence and innovation. And what it has done is really lay the foundation for building this House of Learning and providing the funding to be able to do this, which really is ultimately a focus on student success. So for each of my phases, I've labeled here where and which strategies from the LCAP each of my ideas is addressing or supporting. So looking at phase 1, I see that we need a staff retreat. We have all come to know each other. We are a small staff. But we need to spend a little time doing sort of our own in-house needs assessment and take a look at how we can become more of a team. So in this staff retreat, I see us starting with some team building activities that will really set the purpose and our staff culture, where we ask ourselves, who are we? And when I say that, I mean that in 2 different ways, really. One, who are we, meaning who are we as individuals? What strengths do each of us bring to the table, and how can those various strengths be utilized in such a way as to help students and help elicit that student's success and help our students to succeed? And then the second way is, we ask ourselves, who are we? Meaning, who are we as Vista Visions Academy? Vista Visions Academy is a unique school. We have this amazing opportunity in being the only school so far in Vista Unified School District that is solely embracing online and blended learning. So as we figure out who we are, we need to move into a few, during this retreat, rebranding sessions, rebranding innovation sessions to help create a sustainable learning environment. During those rebranding sessions, I think we need to take a look at creating some pillars for excellence. These pillars are things that I've seen at other sites as groups, small groups of our staff have gone out to look at other innovative schools across San Diego County, and even read more about other schools across the country by reading about them online and going to their websites and exploring. And as we're coming back and reporting out on some of these things, we're seeing some common features and a real clear focus that helps to set the student culture and the staff culture and the culture all the way around for the school that then is known throughout the community is really important. So during these sessions to discuss some school-wide pillars and school-wide focus would be really, really important. I'm seeing the cost for this. I'm thinking we could keep this, say, 2-day staff retreat at $500 or less. And this, addresses the LCAP Strategy 5, which deals with a flexible staff. Phase 2 would be for us to establish some common course and lesson design philosophy for VVA. As we're looking at courses and lessons, it would help if we all are starting from that same foundation. We could look, as one example, we could look at the IB traits. I know Vista Magnet Middle School uses the IB traits, and those are, IB traits are easy for learners, for students to remember, and easy for teachers to incorporate into every lesson and every course that is designed. I also like Tony Wagner's 7 survival skills. He wrote Global Achievement Gap, and I would add an 8th survival skill of empathy onto this. But if we were to look at every single course that we design and every lesson and make sure that these 7 survival skills that students need in order to go out into the world and live rich, meaningful lives and add to this world, they need these 7 survival skills. And if we were able to start with our lessons in mind with these skills, and make sure that we are preparing students for these skills, I think as a school we would be doing a great service for our students. Another piece is we would also need to make sure that all of our teachers become leading edge certified. The leading edge certification costs about $600 per teacher, and right now half of our staff is leading edge certified. Leading edge certification, as we know, really is an intense course that prepares teachers as students to be online and blended learning teachers, and it gets into the nitty-gritty of the things that we need to keep in mind as we're teaching our students online and in blended situations. So at the very least, we need everyone on the same page being versed in the leading edge strategies. I see this phase as addressing the LCAP strategies 4, 7, and 8. Phase 3 is an exciting phase to be in. This is where we do some K-12 vertical alignment with our courses. We take the Common Core State Standards and that philosophy of VVA course and lesson design that we come up with, and we mesh it together, and we start to do some vertical alignment where the community and the parents and the families can see a common thread that threads its way all the way from kindergarten through 12th grade with our courses. This is the time also to develop cross-curricular and integrated studies courses that will provide real-world project-based learning experiences for our students. The great thing is this shouldn't cost us anything because we can just do it during our collaboration time, and I see this as addressing BUSD LCAP Strategy 4. Phase 4 is an exciting stage as well. This is where we get into some program elements to design and acquire. One is for us to develop some type of program where students can take their devices home. Right now we're in a competitive educational market, unfortunately. Schools like ours tend to be charter schools, and many of those charter schools somehow they have that funding to be able to go one-to-one and send devices home. I would say that as a public school, we would still need to be competitive in this market, and I think that it would also help to close the access gap there. So we need to look into that. For the cost for that will vary depending on the devices that we choose and how many are needed. Right at this very moment, we have enough technology on campus for all students to use a device while they're on campus. Our numbers will grow though, and we will need to address that. The other thing we need is a full-time counselor. Right now we have a 20% counselor. We need at least one full-time counselor. As we've all experienced, students seek independent learning experiences for a variety of reasons. Some of those reasons include being medically fragile or having extreme anxiety. Sometimes depression goes along with that, and we need a full-time counselor to help address some of those social and emotional needs as well as the academic needs of our students. Another exciting thing to look into is community partnerships. Our district has a goal of getting students involved in CTE experiences and also service learning, and the service learning can span from elementary school all the way up through high school. I don't think that we're just going to, that won't cost us any money to do community partnerships, hopefully. I did need to back up though and point out that for our full-time counselor, we will need one full FTE. Right now we're at 20%, so we would need to add an 80% FTE, and so that would come out of our site budget. The other part that's really exciting that I see is in phase 4 is utilizing VVA teacher leadership to help us grow from within. This is really a strategic leadership point to bring up. We have teachers on campus with such variety of background. Vicki Curtis has taught AP, multiple AP courses. Mac Greenlee is AP trained as well and is writing AP stats. We have Donna Markey and Jessie Estrada, who have a lot of experience in working with integrated studies, project-based learning, and tech integration. I myself have a lot of technology integration experience. We have an incredible music teacher who can grow our music program from K through 12 and actually see some interaction between those students in performing together. We have an incredible art teacher who comes on staff to teach with us. We have our full-time elementary and middle school teacher, Sandy Ashcraft, is a drama expert. We have quite the talent on campus, and we also compare that with incredible empathy from our teachers. We work hard, we're all willing to step in and cover, and so I really see utilizing our own VVA teacher leadership to help us grow from within. I see this phase 4 addressing VUSD LCAP strategies 2, 3, and 5. And then phase 5 brings us to marketing. And we'll have to do this simultaneously. We're doing some of it now, but I see that we need to market VVA as an online and blended learning academy. Currently, our sign calls us a homeschool and independent study. And while that's what our separate schools used to be, K-8 was a homeschool and 9-12 was an independent study, and still under Ed Code, our whole school is classified as an independent study. But unfortunately, the terms independent study and homeschool are antiquated terms in education, and they don't have connotations that are in line with the innovative and 21st century school that we are. And so I think we need to remove those words from our sign and from our brochures and call ourselves an online and blended learning academy. That will cost us some money. The sign, if we could just get it repainted, maybe $1,000. If we have to replace it, it could be up to $15,000. But I do think that will be money well spent, because it is our big sign that advertises who we are on the street. And we're right across from Vista High School, and we're very visible. We will need to also continue some advertising. I know we have print ad going into Family Magazine, and that is expensive. It's about $4,000. But just if that brings in one student, we really recoup that in ADA for the year. Also boosting our advertisements on social media, maybe the local movie theaters and advertisements before movies begin. We also need to develop a successful student profile for traits of online and blended learners for VVA, so that high school counselors know who we are and what we do. I see this strategy, or this phase, addressing VUSD LCAP strategies 2, 7,